Star Wars. Choose your own pop star. Make it sound better. Make it sound better.
This is Mike Kavanaugh with HIVHero.org and HERONEWS.org, and I'm here with the amazing Ari Gold, who is our first ever Pop Hero of the Month. How are you doing, Ari?
I am honored to be a pop hero.
That's great. You've got such an amazing career, and it started when you were a kid, actually. You did TV shows and jingles, like over 100 jingles. Tell us about that experience.
Well, apparently we're here in the YouTube studios, which used to be the Nabisco factory. So, you know, at the end of the commercial when you'd hear, Nabisco, ding, that was me that time.
Nabisco.
And every other Nabisco product. And I did over 400 jingles on television. And of course, my greatest claim to fame for myself is having done a voice on Gem and the Holograms, which at the time was my favorite TV show. So it was a huge, you know, breakthrough for me to get onto my favorite TV show. And
A father should be a good man. A father should be wise. A father should be tall and strong, with laughter in his eyes. A father should be
and all that stuff is in my autobiographical musical. So
Let's hear about that. It's called Pop Out.
yeah, I've been working on that for quite some time, developing it, and it's a process. Everybody I've ever spoken to that's done like a really incredible one-man show, you know, artists that I really respect, have said it takes about, you know, their process was about 7 years or so before it got to the place of being fully produced. So.
DJ, play my fucking record. It's coming in loud and clear.
And so my mom thought the answer for me was to stand on the table at the Catskills Hotel and announce that I am gay, but I'm getting married to a woman.
No, I never heard of that.
No, I never heard of that. That I deny.
No, absolutely not.
That I deny.
That would be ridiculous. Why would you have to
Maybe
make such
I
an
said it
announcement?
in a rage. Maybe I was enraged, but I wasn't rational.
That would
Love's impunity. Black Lives Matter. Gays, Jews, and Muslims pray. There will be unity.
There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's something wrong with people who think there's something wrong with being gay. I'm precious pussy, Miss Thing.
Then I feel the world changed.
One of the things that I find so fascinating about you is that you were really a hero in the pop industry, because when you were discovered and wanted to go mainstream, they had said that they wanted you to play a straight man and you refused. Can you tell us why you did that?
Well, that happened on more than one occasion, in more than one situation. And it was really even before any of that happened where people really did want me to go back into the closet or play straight in a music video or any of that stuff. Before that, I had made a very, very conscious choice to be openly gay, not only in my life, but in the work, and to have male pronouns and sing love songs, and to finally have an artist that, you know, gay people didn't have to do that extra work, you know, of hearing a man and a woman, or, you know, a straight love affair, and go, okay, I understand the feelings, I just have to substitute the he for the she, or, you know. And so I want, and of course, you know, I wanted to be the person, the kind of artist that I didn't have growing up. What I didn't anticipate, I guess, was the industry and them not really being ready for that. I think that things are changing. I think they're still in the industry, and you hear it from, you know, artists like Adam Lambert. I just read an article by the lead singer of Savage Garden, who had come out. You know, the industry still has a lot of issues. I think it's the public that has now gotten more used to seeing things, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Well, you've been called a gay icon, actually, by many magazines and TV and everything, which is so true. And, you know, I remember seeing you at Pride events, you know, before I had ever met you, and thinking you were the best thing since sliced bread.
Aw.
And everyone had a crush on you. But that, you know, again, what I'm saying is that this really didn't stop you from having a great career because you traveled all over the world pretty much, right?
I was the gay pride poster boy for quite some time. Before they only hired RuPaul Drag Race girls, they were hiring me.
Right. Yeah.
And I did every pride across the country. You know, I would say you know, I was performing for the LGBTs and even the GHFs. You know, the God Hates Fags people, because they were always on the sides.
Yeah. So Ari Gold. Are you really Ari Gold? Is that your last name?
That is my birth certificate name. Yeah, as the story goes, you know, HBO stole my name, and in the process.
That's right. Oh my God, I just made that connection. That's awesome.
In the process, you know, it was just it's a trip because the character was this straight Jewish behind the scenes. He was blatantly homophobic, the character, and here it is. I spent so much of my career trying to prove that Jews could be gay and sexy pop stars in front of the scenes, not just like sleazy behind the scenes agents. And then I was knighted by the Imperial Court, so I embraced, for many reasons, the Sir in front of my name. So if people need to find me on the search engines, you know, Sir Ari Gold is probably easier because you'll otherwise see a lot of Jeremy Piven.
Right. Yeah, you know, interesting that the Imperial Court is one of the oldest LGBT organizations in this country, and it was a big honor, and it's so great that you've been knighted by one of these amazing organizations.
That was incredible. I kneeled in front of a drag queen, and and I got knighted. Some people get other things when they kneel in front of a drag queen. But
Yes, that's true. That is very true. So you have a new single coming out right before Gay Pride. I think it's associated with Gay Pride. Tell us what the inspiration was for that video.
Well, the song is called Make Music, and you know, it really is, the lyric is pretty straightforward. It really comes, you know, when I don't know which way I can turn, I make music, and that really has been my motto. I mean, the song that won that songwriting contest was called Where the Music Takes You, and that was my motto too. You know, people would just be like, you know, well, how do you do what you're doing? I go where the music takes me, and I really did, and I do. It takes me. It literally takes me places. I just follow where it's going.
Don't know which way I can turn. I make music. When I got another lesson I can learn. I make music. When I dance to the beat of my own heart and I wanna lose control. I make music, sweet music, magic.
And that's why I was like, I cannot allow this Gay Pride in 2017 to come out without me putting out my message, because it was finished just in time for New York Gay Pride, and I am just so happy to be able to put something out.
Comes for free. Doesn't matter what cliche. It's all been done and said anyway. You know I say it in a different way. Living for the day, out proud and gay. Hey.
So Ari, one thing I always wanted to talk to you about was all your posts, and you're probably the only one that's more anti-Trump than I am, and it's really great to watch. Why do you think we need to really step it up this Gay Pride and resist?
Well, we have to, you know, the fight for equality is never done, and we have to reinvigorate ourselves, because now we see that if we slack off, our basic human rights can be threatened. They are not a given.
I'm just going to make this a call to action. We have 2018 the opportunity to take back the House and the Senate. That means everyone has to vote. So please do that, because we're about to lose probably some LGBT rights, some health insurance things, especially regarding HIV treatment and help for people that are suffering from HIV. And I'm a little concerned, and so are all your fans, that you've reported that you have blood cancer. That hasn't stopped you at all, but tell us what that means and how you're dealing with that.
It's been quite a journey and a process, and you know, I was, you know, seriously ill and had a few hospital stints that was related to it, but you know, I'm in no pain right now. I'm here sitting with you, and you know, I feel healthy and I feel good, and I have all these exciting projects coming out. So right now, you know, I'm just living with a diagnosis that is being, you know, monitored and treated to an extent.
And Ari, one more thing. We're a site for newly diagnosed and people living with HIV. Can you give us a message about what people need to be doing, especially young people that look up to you, about the importance of safe sex practices and now the use of PrEP?
Oh, no, listen, I'm not saying that I've been perfect in all of my, I've been out for a long time through the AIDS crisis. When I first came out, my family still thought it was a death sentence, and were very worried about me. And now it's not. And so I've had a long journey, and it's always, it requires a lot of constant sort of you have to keep rethinking and your practices and be engaged with it. I find it very helpful to talk to a doctor who I can trust and really tell him and say, I did not use a condom that one time because that my partner was on PrEP, and and talk that through and see, well maybe I need to be on PrEP now, and and just to have that conversation with your doctor, to be able to be honest. But I still, maybe I'm just old school, but and trust me, I'd love to figure out the right situation with the right person to explore condomless sex. But right now, there's a lot of reasons to be on, take your PrEP and still put a condom on.
Okay, and our slogan is condoms are hot. Do you think condoms are hot?
Condoms are hot.
Okay, Ari, you just dropped a new single, but what's next for you? What's going on?
Well, hopefully there'll be more singles and videos from Soundtrack to Freedom, from the latest album, and I am developing my autobiographical musical, which continues to grow in really exciting ways, and I just can't wait for people to see it, because I think they're going to see a lot of sides to me and to my story that they probably did not know about, and just to realize and see that my story is their story too. And it was a moment in history that I went through, and I'm just looking forward to sharing that with the world.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought Pop up, because one of the things featured is your parents. I want to say to the Golds, very nice job breeding, and that you were named Gold, so you kind of figured this all out and created a star. So good for you. So Ari, I want to thank you so much for being here. You're an inspiration to everybody. Our first pop hero. So glad that you are our friend and such a fighter and hero, and stood up for the rights again of all LGBT people, and kept true to your own self all throughout this process.
I think it was Maya Angelou who said the lesson that we most need to learn for ourselves is the one we often find ourselves teaching. And so yes, I did want to impart that lesson to everybody, but it was also for myself. I had to get over my own and deal with, and I still do. I'm still dealing with issues like shame and my internalized homophobia and all that stuff. And so I had to do that for myself. I had to be my own hero first and foremost, in order for me to try and make sure that nobody else would grow up and feel the way I did when I was growing up. So,
well, I think you've accomplished so much, and I think your career is going to just go further, and we haven't seen the best of Ari Gold.
Well, thank you. I look forward to that.
So congratulations on being our first Pop Hero awardee.
Oh my, am I getting an award? I just came here to do an interview. I'll go.